Alright, I hope everyone's ready for another fun-filled Sonic game. So we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and as I said, we're going to be doing the lock-on version, and we're going to be playing as Knuckles. Now, the funny thing is, and it's always kind of a running gag that back in the day that one of my least favorite characters was Knuckles, which primarily comes from the fact that his jump height is kind of gimped, and that makes some things a lot more difficult, especially when you're doing this Sonic 2 version, which wasn't originally designed with Knuckles in mind. But on the other hand, you do get the access to the fancy wall climbing abilities. So yeah, we're gonna make our attempt at getting the emeralds. We're successful in Sonic 1, and the good thing is that you get a lot more attempts in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 because you just need to get 50 rings and hit one of the star posts. So you basically have multiple attempts in every single act. That said, I've never been the best at these stages. As I said in my Sonic 1 video, the first 3 or 4 aren't super difficult, but the last 3 really get to be pretty annoying, and unfortunately, your best bet really is just getting to the point where you kind of memorize where the rings and all that spawn and where those bombs are going to be at. Otherwise, you're just going to be kind of doing trial and error. But yeah, like I said, the first one especially is pretty easy. There's only those couple of bombs, but we'll see. Now, it is technically possible if you're really kind of dedicated enough to backtracking to get all 7 of the Chaos Emeralds by the time you're finished with Emerald Hill Zone. That said, I'm not going to necessarily be going out of my way to do that because I'm not really in a super hurry to get Super Knuckles, because it really does make a lot of the game pretty trivial. And I was also kind of half debating whether or not I would even try to go for the emeralds. But I figured, well, since I did do it in Sonic 1, and it is, kind of the point of the game to get all the emeralds, why not? And okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was over here, and then I think over here, yeah, cool. Now, one additional benefit we have going for us as we're playing with Knuckles is, for a lot of the ring checks, he actually has reduced total over what either Sonic or Tails would do. The most, and the most would be is if you're playing as Sonic and Tails together. Then you're going to be having to get whatever the maximum number is for each check. And just as a personal recommendation, I don't recommend ever trying to do Sonic and Tails together unless you have a second person available to control Tails, because the lag that you have with the Tails being kind of a split second behind whatever inputs you put for Sonic, especially in some of the later Emerald stages, it's just going to end up costing you. So, hey, another extra life. But yeah, like I said, another advantage with Knuckles is, unlike Sonic and Tails, he actually keeps all the rings he currently has when he exits a special stage. Normally you're kicked out and you're set back to 0, which makes things a little bit harder, obviously. So, yeah, as we can see, we're already doing number 3 here in the very first act of the game. Like I said, this is the last one that still, I think you could qualify as easy-ish. We'll see. Unfortunately for me, my memory act isn't quite 100% what it used to be on these. It's been quite a while since I've attempted the Emerald stages. Alright, get 100. Now, technically with those bombs, if you time your jump on them like just right, you can like break through them. I don't think that's worthwhile to ever try to do. But, you know, I won't tell you what to do. Alright, cool. 140 rings, so just 15 more. Yeah, technically, my best game for doing Emeralds is Sonic 3 Knuckles. Like, I really enjoyed Blue Sphere the most of all the classic special stages, but no, we don't want to do that. I don't know if that would have knocked out enough rings for me to not get the Emerald, but that would have been pretty embarrassing. Now, it's always kind of a funny thing for me because a friend of mine really hates Blue Sphere, and you know, would always say, oh, he'd rather be playing you know, this like Sonic 2 bonus stages, but I'm like, I just can't understand that at all. So, more continues. Yeah, now, and the funny thing is, like, this title screen here, which is part of the emulation issue, is that, yeah, I guess the color palette for Knuckles wasn't entirely compatible with the Sonic 2 game, and, like, pretty much not at all with Sonic 1. So it causes a couple interesting things, like those title screen colors are different than what they are in the regular Sonic 2. And what's normally the blue shield becomes the gray shield. Hang on. I wanna see if I can get back over here with that. Alright, now can I get back up there is the question. Let's see, with that, see, I'm gonna be held back by Knuckles' jump height. Fairly confident you can make that jump as Sonic and Tails, but... Alright, number 4. This great level, this is where the difficulty really kind of starts coming into play. So we'll see if we manage to get this one on the first attempt or not. Oh! Alright. Yeah, okay, there we go. 45, alright. Cool! I always thought that hand, like, the fingers on that hand are, like, abnormally long. Alright, so I want to go over, and I think, yeah, over, oh, shoot. There's like a little bit of a method to the madness here. 140 rings. So as I might have mentioned, yes, last time, whoa, yeah, Sonic 2 was the very first game I ever owned and played. So overall, I've had the most experience playing overall, which in the regular levels works pretty well. Alright, so we got first 4 without having to fail. I don't know if that's going to hold after the next, like I said, the last 3 is definitely a big challenge. And of course, since I didn't fail, I don't get to... Ow. Well, there's our first damage taken for the run. Well, actually, no, we lost our shield once or twice, but... Okay, getting stuck on spikes. Not a big deal. And we could have gone back and collected rings, but like I said, I've already spent 11 minutes just in Emerald Hill Zone because of getting all these stupid emeralds. What are you gonna do? So one thing, yeah, we get to have fun with is more complex mechanics for the robotic boss battles. Like, it was just the Eggo-matic with like minimal attachments in Sonic 1. Here, like, yeah, we get like the ATV, and like a lot of the other bosses are a little bit more elaborate looking. So yeah, they definitely did a good job with setting up the game. Like, I've always found Sonic 2 to be really where they hit their stride. Like, not to say that Sonic 1's bad by any means, but like, when you compare it to the kind of things that got added in the sequels, you know, it definitely feels almost like prototypey in a way, because you really miss having things like the spin dash and just the different way like levels are designed, and you saw a lot more like enemy recycling going on in Sonic 2. You don't really get much of that in or Sonic 1. You don't really get much of that like in their games. Like, pretty much most stages will have their own kind of unique enemies. I don't know why I came back for the extra life over here, but and this is another thing I definitely wanted to show off. There's like little things here or there that are kind of like added in by the code as like exclusive little spots where you can use Knuckles' abilities to find like special item boxes, like extra life boxes and things like that. So yeah, I don't really even know if there are any checkpoints in Chemical Plant 1, just because of like how short that level is. I don't think I've ever come across one. There are definitely several in Chemical Plant 2 here, so we'll get our next attempt at an Emerald stage before too much longer. So this is an interesting one, because there's 2 different paths you could end up getting. I'm not 100% sure what determines which path that sends you on. I kind of think it's based on the timer, like if it's an even number or an odd number on the timer. But I've never really bothered to like 100% confirm that. It's one of those things I feel like I probably want to look up one of these times. And if we're lucky, this will be like the only time we really end up underneath the chemical water. And, you know, like I said, I'm sort of skipping that checkpoint there because it makes it easier to do a little skip up here. Ah, there we go. Not 100% the best way, but that skips. It's an easy way to skip the rising water section. Not that it's really a hard section, but it's always kind of like a cool little swag trick. Alright, so this is where things are going to really start getting interesting. Alright, and... ah, shoot. That's not really how I wanted to do that. And I feel like that's kind of like part of the reason why you have like higher ring requirements with Sonic and Tails together, because they do have some of those things where you can't get like to two different sections of rings just because. Oh boy, here we go. Ay ay ay. Yeah. Cool. Get 130 rings. Ay ay ay. Oh shoot. Well, we got at least one there. Hey, okay, we're past our yeah, we're past our ring requirement here, so I think we'll be all right. Hey, all right, 5 in a row. Wow, just 2 more. Didn't I tell you that this was going to be a lot more attempts than we got in Sonic 1? I don't think that's too bad for not actually playing this for a little while. Alright, yeah, definitely take it easy there, because if you don't have like just the right momentum, you can end up falling underneath there. Now there is technically like a little platform there that'll catch you. So if you're playing as Sonic or Tails, it's actually easy to like get on top of that guy and just get all 8 hits automatically before he even drops that first thing of Mega Mac. But Knuckles' jump height is just not quite high enough to do that, so you have to actually be careful and avoid that attack of his, because the knockback on it can and will send you over those rotating platforms and you just instantly die. And don't want to go too fast. And hey, look, it's our buddy Grounder. Oh wait, where'd he go? There we go. You know, some of those great Grounder enemies from that were pretty much used as the basis for the Grounder character in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's see if I can get the rings I need here. I think there's 3 inside the log. Cool. And, yeah, the sooner I can actually knock out these Emerald stages, the sooner I won't have to, like, worry about trying to concentrate so much and, maybe talk about some more fun things. But, as I said, we're getting off kind of lucky with Knuckles and the fact that, oh, shoot. I almost got trolled. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well. Get 130 rings! Oh! Alright. Oh, yeah, this thing again. Yeah, these Emerald Sages like to reuse these patterns that they start working on. Yeah. Now I want to get some of these rings here. Alright, how many do we need next? 170. Oh shoot, what the heck was I doing? Like I said, you can tell it's been a while because I'm like, alright, oh, come on. Alright, well, we're at 170, so as long as we don't take any damage. Pretty regularly with these hoops. Alright, 6 for 6. You know, I mean, well, I will say this as a caveat. If I was not playing this as Knuckles, I don't think we'd be as lucky as we are right now. But I didn't... you'll have to take my word for it, but I didn't set out to do this as Knuckles just for the benefit of easier Emerald stages. It's mostly because, like I said, I wanted to kind of mix things up a little bit with the classic games, and it was going to be either... wow, I just kind of got like stuck on the top of the screen there. But yeah, it was either going to be Knuckles or Tails, you know, and the other one was going to get the Sonic 3 campaign. The main thing is, like, the Sonic and Knuckles half of Sonic 3 and Knuckles is rather truncated in relative to the Sonic and Tails part. No, crap. This might be the first one we fail. Oh, crap. Shoot. God. This is annoying. Cool. Get 100 rings. No! Snap. I got faked out. Well, I don't know. Ah! Okay. 140 rings. Yeah, this is like the weirdest thing ever. Like, where you're just sort of stuck with like really random... Oh, alright, well, we're gonna get screwed here, because there's no way I'm gonna get all the rings on you with all this random crap. Ah, no. Oh, see? Crap. Like, it's impossible to see those things coming. I don't know. Dang it, 5 rings. See, if we didn't take its last damage. Oh, well. Special stage complete. So yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I'm gonna sort of keep being a dead horse here, but the main drawback to not being able to go anywhere, besides the fact that this whole quarantine thing is really unfortunate situation, it's just like, well, doesn't leave much interesting things to talk about, because yeah, can't go to work. So basically just stuck, I mean, get to take care of housework that you sometimes neglect just because you don't always feel like it when you're, you know, have your regular full-time work going on. But other than that, you know, just, you know, sitting around, you taking care of that kind of stuff, or maybe doing these videos. So, oh, well, like I said, I don't have enough rings, and I don't feel like having to come back. Actually, I don't even think I can make it over that one. Now, I have to go down. But, one nice thing is, I don't have enough rings for that one either, but getting a chance to see Cody pick up the playthroughs he's going now, including the Pokemon Platinum. It's always fun watching his Pokemon runs, because he's actually much better at playing those than I am. He has a lot more patience for grinding and such. Like, I I'm like way too lazy with taking care of that kind of stuff. So I end up, you know, taking whatever shortcuts. Alright, so we'll hit up this checkpoint here right before the boss. Start! Alright, let's see if we can, like, yeah, let's fail would be good. Oh, snap! No! Crap. I said let's fail. Oh my god, I'm already forgetting. Crap! Oh my god. Cool. Get 100 rings. I wish, like, all these parts were just, like, these straightaways. They make my life, like, so much easier. Oh, son of a... Yeah, this makes your life so much easier if that were the case, but whatever. Alright. Ay, caramba, I can't stand all this junk. Ugh. Alright, well, we made it through that part without, getting walloped. Oh, no. Well, actually, we might be, Wow, we did it! That one's a lot harder without Knuckles, so... Knuckles has all the Chaos Emeralds, and now the game's gonna become, like, 20 times easier. But, you know, such is life. On the bright side, one thing that the, lock-on changed was that, in Sonic 2, normally, like, you automatically turn into the super form if you just jump into the air. But this one uses the Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3 Knuckles formula where you have to press jump again. So at least we're not required to use the super form unless I like accidentally forget. So I'm going to try to keep use of the Super Knuckles to a minimum here because I don't want to just use it to cheese the game. So now we just get to play things normally. And one thing I did want to kind of talk about, which I kind of got the idea for when I was watching Cody's last playthrough, is like, I don't know, I'll probably less in a like annoyed sense maybe just for because my own perspective, but like I know he had like a lot to say on like his history with ARC, and it kind of got me thinking where I kind of like, you know, reached a point where I wasn't really sure when I'd ever get there in terms of like my own kind of participation in it is like really low nowadays, but well, that's actually alright, because we just keep our ring counts low. But yeah, since I've been a member of the ARC forums for like, quite a long time, like, you know, they originally started way back in like 2002, and I was kind of late to the community then because I didn't get there until like, I think it was like late or sometime in 2004, and they were around for like 2 years before I got there. And you know, the thing, you can really feel like things have changed like in the long time that they've been around. Because, you know, it was originally just like a really small community that got together from the old BattleBots Comedy Central boards. And, you know, they just eventually ended up creating their own form out of that. And that served pretty well, like, you know, the original concept, like with the fantasy leagues, was they would just like use real life bots and do fights with them, and then eventually over time it got to the point where it's like, well, hey, we can draw bots and we'll just create our own, right? So then, you know, that's where you get to custom fantasy leagues, and things have stayed pretty much like that for a pretty good long while. There were like minor changes over the years, like, but yeah, the main point, like, and you can watch Cody's video for the same information there, where it's like, you know, the main idea was to keep things, you know, pretty simplistic, because the idea was to make it accessible to everyone. And, you know, it didn't matter, like, how much technical knowledge you had. Like, you were going to be able to... Alright, I'm going to deliberately take damage here, because I want to go into the boss battle here with less than 100%, or less than the ring required. Now, this is one kind of fun thing where you can use Knuckles' abilities to cheese this boss fight. I didn't really need the supersonic abilities for this. Actually, now that I think about it, though, there is one thing I kind of want to do. I want to be on this wall over here, because there's a fun little glitch that you'll be able to see here. Yep. Wall disappears, but you're still hanging on it. But yeah, anyway, so, you know, things were kept pretty simple, and, I mean, to be fair to the times, like, BattleBots, you know, were, like, the most of the competitors were a lot less complex than some of the stuff you'll see nowadays. Yeah, actually, you know what, I'm gonna hold that on here, and, since we're just over the 32-minute mark, and we're gonna pause here, and I will pick everything up in the next half of this video, because I don't want to have everything go too long. So, cliffhangers!